So in this video I have for you guys today, I'm going to talk about how to become a better baseball player, or even how to advance a lot further in baseball. So you can see here that I have all these different books, and I have some other items like calendars with quotes in them, these little desktop calendars with quotes in them, and I have a couple of DVDs. So I'll talk about that in just a second. So let me just go over what I have here. I have The Mental ABCs of Pitching by H.R. Dorfman. I have this baseball book here that my son gave me actually for Christmas. I have this calendar that I picked up. Actually, I might have gotten that for Christmas too. I have this Inspired Athlete. I got this for Christmas from someone else, not my son. I have this Inspired Athlete calendar that I picked up. I have this Willie Mays calendar that desktop calendar that I picked up. I have this DVD or this DVD of the movie 42, the story of Jackie Robinson. I have this DVD here that I'll tell you more about in a second. I have this DVD film with Will Smith called The Pursuit of Happiness. And I have this National Hall of Fame and Museum publication that I received with my Hall of Fame membership. So with all these items here, some of you may be figuring out why I have all this here. And before I go into that, before I go into explaining, for some of you that aren't on track yet, or you haven't really thought of why I have this, and at a certain point in my life I probably wouldn't have figured this out either. But what I first want to say is that baseball players all have different personalities. Just like in society, there are different personalities out there. If you go through and look at some of the biographies in sports, you're also going to see the different sports in different sports, in baseball and football and basketball and hockey and soccer and whatever other sports out there. There are different personalities, just like I said, like in society. And we all are wired differently. Now, I was wired as a very big student of the game, a lot of passion. I didn't get the information I didn't get certain kinds of information from my dad or other people that I had around, coaches or whatever, that I thought I needed. And I loved the game so much as a kid that I went to the library to get that information. I watched a lot of baseball, and that came from, also from my father, who sat down with us in the living room with everybody. Since I was a little kid, we watched the World Series. Way back as I can remember. I remember the 77 World Series with the Dodgers playing the Yankees. I remember the 78 World Series with the Dodgers playing the Yankees. I remember every World Series after that. I grew up in LA, so we watched the Dodgers and Angels consistently throughout my childhood. And they did very well, so there was a lot of excitement about baseball in our neighborhood, in our culture in Los Angeles. Even with people that weren't or didn't play Little League, and maybe weren't even playing any sports. But the culture in Los Angeles was a lot about baseball because they were winning. The Dodgers and the Angels were winning. So what's my point here? Well, that was me. Okay, that was my experience growing up. That was my lifestyle. It was influenced by my parents, by my dad, by my family growing up, by the culture in my immediate local part of the world. But I've known players who, they just play the game. My son just plays the game. He's been playing t-ball since the age of 4, and he's 13 now, and he does pretty well. A lot of that is based on my influence, and he's kind of following in some of my footsteps. he still has his own life, and I allow him to have his own life and own interests and own loves and own passions. Because I don't want to, influence, where he's going in the path that he's supposed to take. I don't want to deter that, what he's meant to be. But if you love the game, take it in the direction that feels natural to you. These different things here can all help you. I mean, you don't have to look at all kinds of stuff like this like I do. I'm a type A personality, and I like to read everything and know about everything. I have this Sudoku calendar here because I found out that it can help me with, keeping my brain young and vibrant and functional, as I get older. And it can even help young people. Some people are into Sudoku. I have this film here called The Pursuit of Happiness, and it talks about this guy achieving something with the great adversity he had in the 1970s, and it's a true story. There is also something in that film that's very valuable to sports and to parents, and there's a scene in here that you can look up on YouTube or some other place on the internet with some kind of a video hub, and it talks about the kid is the kid that plays Will Smith's son in the film is also his son in real life, and there's a part in the film where he's shooting basketballs and Will Smith, I think, tells him to stop, and then he stops himself and says, "Wait a minute." He said, "Forget about what I said. I said, if you really want something, go get it. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do something just because they couldn't do it." I learned a lot from that, and I use it in my coaching. And I think the parents really like that I do that, and it really helps the kids. Because you never know, if you, like I said, you look at some of the biographies and how people have achieved things. Herschel Walker raced trains. And when he was a kid, he was overweight. He was bullied. He went through a lot as a kid, and that motivated him to change. I'm not saying we should all bully people to motivate them or treat them bad to motivate them, but what I'm saying is that if you are facing adversity, if you're going through something, if you're being pushed around, if you're being bullied, if you're going through stuff, turn that into a positive and use it as motivation to inspire yourself to achieve in life and whatever you're meant to do. This film 42 was very inspiring to me. I recommend that you watch it. Baseball was changed in 1947 with Jackie Robinson entering baseball. It became, at that point, a more diverse culture after that, and it became international after that. You can learn a lot from that because baseball right now is so international, and you will have to compete internationally. So, you'll have to, when I say you have to compete internationally, is that you're going to be playing against competition if you do, even play in some colleges. And, of course, at the major league level, you're going to be playing against players from all over the world. Baseball is becoming more and more diverse. There's more countries, more players from more countries, every few years entering baseball. That there's Japanese players and Korean players, and there haven't been for a while. There's been Dominicans for a while. Now there's like a whole new group of Cubans entering baseball. They've been signing big contracts lately for Cubans. There's Yasiel Puig with the Dodgers, and there's another couple players with the Dodgers that are coming in. The Seattle Mariners are talking about signing a Cuban. There's players from on other teams that have been signed to big contracts lately. So you have to think about adapting to a higher level of competition, and you have to think of almost training like an Olympic athlete. Now, I'm not saying that you have to start pushing so hard right now, because pushing so hard sometimes can lead to disappointment. It can break your heart. You have to try to evaluate your own talent, have somebody evaluate you, but at the same time, don't let the wrong person deter you from from meeting your goal. If you're really talented, if you really love the game, like I have in my life, just focus on preventing injury as much as you can and learning the right mechanics, and just see how far it takes you. There's athletes that I've heard say that are young, that are pretty wise, and say, I love the game, and I'm working to see, I'm putting in the time at a reasonable rate, and not getting so focused into it that you take your attention away from other things that are also important. You need to focus on friends and family. You need to focus on having downtime and doing other things and focusing on school, because colleges want you to have good grades too. And you need a backup. Everybody needs a backup. Okay. So you want to see, want to focus it. Just focus enough time. Just enough to impress. I want you to focus on those words. Just enough to impress. And see, what's the level that you can take it up to. It's pretty impressive to be able to play high school baseball. It's very impressive to be able to play, college. It's very impressive to make it to just the minor leagues. I mean, how many people can say that? Even if you just play single A, man, that's a big accomplishment. So, but just keep working at it. Just see where it takes you. Don't get too bogged into it, but just find out what requirements there are. There's places on YouTube where you can find that all out. There's the NCSA videos on YouTube. NCSA, remember that. You don't have to necessarily buy into it as far as getting involved and getting signed onto a contract with them and having them helping you get scouted and recruited. But learn from their videos. If your parents do have the cash, maybe do it, but you don't have to. If you're talented, if you work hard, if you challenge yourself, if you meet the level of competition that is needed out there for Division I baseball or Division II baseball or Division III baseball or junior college, and the best high schools out there, the best competition in high schools out there, you will get discovered. You may have to do still some work, and you still need to have the knowledge and awareness of, and get yourself known in other ways. I'll have a video on that also, so pay attention for that. The video is going to be about, do you really need to spend a lot of money? Do you really need to be in a select program? Do you really need to be rich to play baseball, to make it to college, to minor leagues and major leagues? So I'll have a video on that. I'll have more on this subject in other videos, so keep watch for that. But I want to promote this video here. It was done. I worked on it. I produced it. I filmed it. I produced it. And I think it's pretty helpful. I don't think I didn't plan it. It kind of just happened. It's called The Comeback Kids. And send me a comment, and we'll see maybe how we can get this in your hands. So again, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll have another video for you again. So keep watching.